told him in chat.
We had a technical issue. We died a painful death.
We did, unlike Mass Effect.
But we are back now. Don't know what happened there.
back.
That was a strange one. My OBS just sort of died a painful death. So fingers crossed that we're back to normal on that. But that went really weird. I don't quite know what went wrong there. But we're back. Everything seems to be running. Nobody's died. It's all good in the hood.
Hang on a second. I'm just going to check. No, it's not on. It's not coming up on my end.
We're up on YouTube at least. We're back live. We are safe. Everything's what we lost.
We are safe.
We lost a tiny little bit of me ranting and raving about my love for Mass Effect. Nobody needs to hear that for the 13th week in a row.
Well, yeah, possibly not. Possibly not. But you will try and push them with it, won't you?
Yes.
You will try and push them with it.
But so yeah, no, Mass Effect, loving it. It's classic game, can't argue it. Fantastic. And just on the subject of our Project Game Pass, I've been playing a bit more of Extraction. Dropped in with randoms. Again, it's nowhere. It's one of these games. It's like Siege. You can't just play it with randoms. It's not as enjoyable. It's better when you've got your own group. When you're on your headsets, you're either having a laugh or you're playing tactical and trying to really get the best out of the game. But what they've done with it in regards to all the different enemies, the different types of situations that you're in. So obviously there's like the breaking down the tree, hacking into the terminals, disabling or putting a bomb on the stems and things like that. So
yeah.
It's everything that you would expect from like a zombie come tactical shooter done by Ubisoft for the Rainbow Six franchise.
Nice.
Looks nice, plays well, gunplay's awesome, mechanics are awesome, cool gadgets. Yeah, it's an awesome game, and for the fact that it's in Game Pass and it went in day and day, brilliant value for money because it's a fully fledged game. It's not like an add-on to Siege. There is like a story behind it, where this virus came from, what they're doing to try and learn about it, counteract it, and stuff like that. So, I mean, it's a difficult game. There's no getting away from it. Even experienced Siege players will find it difficult, but it is a fantastic game to play.
Yeah, I don't know whether we mentioned that the levels are procedurally generated, so they do ever so slightly change, and I think the enemy types that come out aren't always the same.
No.
If I vaguely remember correctly. But yeah, so it's great, and as you say, people need to try this because it's so different. So different. You got anything to add on those?
No, just like I say, I've not delved into anything new just now. Waiting with bated breath until Thursday at midnight because there is a very big game launch coming out this week, which will be.
I'm trying to think. I've missed all of it. You'll tell me later, will you? Oh yeah, no, don't worry.
There we go.
The penny dropped.
Yeah, the penny dropped. So yeah,
for Feb, isn't it?
I will come next Sunday. I will have quite a lot to talk about a certain game.
Have you completed it yet?
No comment. Yeah, I'm desperate to
talk about it
because that game is
interesting,
fucking awesome. It's going to be awesome.
Cool. Right. Well, I'm going to get into. I've played loads of games while I've been off for 2 weeks, and not all in the same breath. So I'm only going to talk about 2 games. I'm going to mention. I'm going to start off with Halo.
I was going to say start off with that one because we want to know your progress and your experiences of that second to last level.
So yeah, I am now, which I believe I haven't looked, but I'm sure you can confirm, Ross. I think I'm on the last level.
You're very close to the last part.
Yeah, so I feel like I'm gearing up. You can feel it ramp up. You can significantly feel the ramp up as you go through the last. I
would say when you're trying not to.
Yeah, I don't want to spoil it either.
When your pilot is in jeopardy.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. So you can feel that all of a sudden.
That's when it goes up to 11.
Yeah. So the game ramps up.
Yeah. Storyline and combat, because obviously you find out a big secret about one of the characters, like their purpose and things like that in the game.
Yeah.
And then not only do you find that out, but the actual gameplay wise and enemies and levels suddenly become holy shit levels.
Yeah. So as I've had more time with this game, I'm probably going to offend a load of people now.
Oh, Daniel, careful.
So when you're on the ring, or you're on the ring, obviously, but while you're progressing from when you get found up until you go onto the ring, up until maybe you fight two brothers later on in the game, I feel that section of the whole game feels very rinse and repeat. The open world part of the game feels very much go to this extraction point and not extraction point, go to this place, clear it out so you can have it as your kind of base of operation. Go clear this place out for this base of operation, etc., etc., etc. I feel there's only 3 different styles of gameplay mechanic is not the correct word, but
there
you
is
literally
go in and there's the
clear
fuel
out
cells.
the zone. Yeah, so clear out the zone.
Yep.
Go to like a bigger base in air quotes, destroy fuel cells so you can go explore another part.
Yep.
And then the other one is there's another one which it has now left me because I can't think what it is. You go fight a boss to go kind of get a gun that you can
it's like
the super special. It's a special weapon, but
it's almost like a bounty list.
Yeah,
you go and kill these
you
go and kill these bounties and get a reward for it.
Yeah. And I feel the game rinse and repeats through those 3 types 7 to 12 times.
Thing is, I can completely understand what you're saying, and I like. There's no denying it. That is what it does. The game is very much go to this place and find a Spartan core, which means you can upgrade your whether it be like your grapple, your evade, whatever it may be, whatever you choose to have as your ability. Go there, get that. Go here and find what is it, a US?
The digital recordings. Yeah.
Find your recordings. Go to this place and find your customizables for the multiplayer, whether it be like your skins for your character, your weapons, your motors, or whatever it may be. That's like your little things that appear when you unlock more FOBs. So and then you'll find them. Go and take your FOB, which is just a platform that has either grunts, elites, maybe a couple of ghosts. Take them, and then that's you got that. Go to the fuel cells, the bounties, things like that. So they don't have a massive variety in what they do. The counter to that is they do it really well, and the open world aspect with the grappling hook. Personally, I thought it was amazing. See zipping across the map with your grapple hook.
Which
loved it.
So that was great, and I did enjoy that. However, I think by the 3rd time round or 4th time round, I was a bit like, again. And I was so you mentioned last month before last about how good the verticality of the map was. So it's a big old area. Also, the verticality. Thank you. Is massive as well. And there are certain points.
So many level changes.
Yeah, and at some points you have to go get a I was going to call it a ghost. It's not the ghost. It's the other thing that flies.
The one you actually go inside.
Yeah, I can't think of what it.
I can't
looks
remember
like
the
a
name
flying slug. That is all I can think of. So don't scream at us too much. Anyway, there's only a few points that you can pick those up to go fly in those those areas that you cannot reach, and then clear out Banshee. Thank you. That you fly the Banshee to clear out the FOB so you can capture that point. Or to go get, and that really frustrated me. I was frustrated that you couldn't get like one of you when you captured the FOB, that a vehicle couldn't drop that gave you the ability to go fly. So you couldn't get a
you could spawn it in at your base.
Yes,
even if it was something like so it would be even like the sort of the goodies version would be like a Pelican. Pelican's a bit bigger, but something that you could spawn in anyway. That was a fly.
Yeah, I mean, you're flying the Pelican anyway through the map, aren't you? And then there's issues as the story progresses about the Pelican. So I can kind of understand why you can't spawn in a pelican, but there should be another means or a highlighted point to say this is where you can get all your banshees. This is the banshee. Like there's a few when you're destroying the cores and you're kind of breaking down their workshops. It'd be nice to say this is the one that always produces pelicans, and that's the one you can go to get your pelicans. Then go fly, because there's so many other little bits that you can find. Like you can find your Spartan cores because they're dotted and hidden around the map. There's also those things that look like cell towers that spout propaganda off.
Yes.
You have to destroy them, which is hilarious. They crack me up. But you can only get some of them if you've got a pelican, because you can't reach.
I mean, you can
some of the points.
You can.
No, there's some I've seen.
Some of them you have to go a long way around to get up.
Yes. Sod that, I'm not doing that.
But like, so like, if you look at some of the maps, like you can see like the topography of it, and like the objective you can clearly see is at the top of a massive ridge, and you can't go from like, so if you're standing below the point, you can't go from there to there. You have to go from there to here, like over here somewhere, to come back across.
Oh dear.
So you can do it like that. You don't need a.
You don't need the banshee. Then.
You don't need a banshee to necessarily go to that place. It makes life easier, but you can navigate from ground level to the highest point.
So you have to go to the.
I can't remember. It's like there's forerunner structures. So obviously, you've got your natural cliff faces and things like that, and then you've got the bits where it's like the big hexagon type columns that
I'll call them spires. They're not spires.
No, because they're all grouped together to make like peaks and troughs and things like that. So once you get to those sections, you can't go from sort of straight up because there's nowhere to like grab on to live up. So you tend to find that there's like smaller ones off to the left or off to the right. So you need to go off to them, up a bit, and then up to the right again, and then up a bit, and so on and so forth.
Well, I did that a few times.
Which is fine, but like you're saying, if you had a banshee or a pelican, and you can just go from there up, and that's it.
I'm a very, from point A to point B is the quickest route. I'm not going into C, D, and F to go back to B.
Yeah,
I'm not that type of person, and that's my bad. Just frustrated the hell out of me. The story, however, is superb.
So good.
It's really good. That was my only gripe. The whole kind of what felt very rinse and repeat. I won't talk too much about it because I'm hopefully finishing it this week.
The biggest compliment I can pay to the storyline is everybody knows Halo 5 wasn't the best. Halo 4 wasn't the best. Or not, it wasn't that they weren't good. It was just that in comparison to other ones, they weren't the best.
Yeah.
So I missed 5. So I don't know what happened with a certain character. Yeah. And I don't know the backstory of a certain race.
Yeah.
It's made me want to go and not necessarily maybe go back and play them, but at the same time I want to maybe go and watch what happened in those stories, because the storyline that they give you in Infinite is that good that it makes you want to get more invested in what happened previously.
True, yeah. I mean, they do sprinkle, so they
give you as much as they can do without having to constantly go back to what happened.
Yeah, so you have a character with you that is
not who you're used to.
Yeah, see, I wasn't even going to say that. I was going to say that plays dumb quite a lot, and she will fill in the bits where you're like, so what happened? Why has this part happened? What?
Yeah.
And she kind of feels she's like, well, what happened, Chief? And you get that kind of dribble of story. But I know what you mean, because I've completely forgotten what happened in Halo 5, and I would like to remember what happened, but then also I don't want to sit through another X amount of hours of a game I've already played. But yeah, it does give you that longing to play some more.
I mean, like I say, it's minus. I think that's a weird one. I think I probably look at 2 more favourably, but I think that was because I played it co-op and I got the full co-op experience out of Halo 2.
Yeah.
So if the thing is, like, I might end up playing this one co-op and having even more fun than I had in 2. But as it stands just now, 2 probably just pips this one simply because I had the co-op experience. But this one is right up the tail of it because it was a fantastic. I love the open world element and things like that. Yeah.
I think my favourite was maybe 3, and you've hit the nail on that co-op. I played it co-op with a friend, and then we just constantly played
Yeah.
Halo 3, and that was the game. I enjoyed it. I was a bit like, I don't know what Halo is. I've seen it once, played it once, not bothered. Him and me played it, and yeah, I really enjoyed it. But that's the Halo chat of this week. The next game is a review game I've been playing called Breakneck City. Think Streets of Rage.
Okay.
Think of that cool slim line graphic of Streets of Rage. Throw that out the window, and you're kind of playing with what I can only describe as sometimes feels like the Human Fall Flat character as you're going around beating people up.
It's interesting.
Yeah, I mean it's got this kind of cyber neon punk-esque kind of color palette.
Everything seems to be purple, blue, and green.
Yeah, I mean it looks. I don't say it looks terrible because that kind of then gives my review away. It is what it is, but it is actually quite enjoyable just to go around and play it. The characters move so bizarrely.
Yeah, I'm looking at that.
They're not flush when they move. And if you're thinking Streets of Rage, don't. It's that type of beat 'em up as you're going along. There's some weird moves like you jump on lampposts and you can like swing around.
Yeah, I just seen that.
Pretty, those things are pretty cool. But it is quite enjoyable. And if you could get like a 2-player co-op experience out of this, it would be even funnier. But hopefully that review will go up in the next week. Otherwise, Jay will start laughing at me at how I don't do my reviews. So look out for that.
At least when I take a while to put up a review, it's because I'm playing a AAA game that I try and complete 90% of before I review it.
Yeah, whereas me, I've picked this small little indie title that I should have completed quite early on, but instead decided to play Halo instead.
As you do.
But yeah, that is it. Those are the games for this week. Hopefully the lads will be back next week, and we'll
fingers crossed. I think we're at least a 4 next week, as far as I'm aware.
So we'll all have new games. We'll all have something to talk about. I will have completed Halo. Yeah, I will. I'll put money on it. I'm completing Halo. That will be my first game for February to be completed. Yeah. So I'm going to jump in.
How's your challenge going, by the way, with your completing of your games?
It depends. Use that games term very loosely, and I'm doing all right. I'm just going to look now.
How's your visual novels going?
The visual novels are awesome. They do help. So 30-game video game challenge. So far I'm on 6. So I've done Townscape. 6. It's only January. It's not bad. So I've done Townscaper, Ball Lab, Year of Spring, Mad Streets, Reactor X. I've done Lego Star Wars, The Force Awakens. So that is my first, you can say, proper title.
Wait, you've already completed The Force Awakens. You can't count that as completing it twice.
No, I completed it once. I did it once. I completed it with my son. I didn't redo it. So I played half of the game.
So you had never completed it the first time when we used to talk about Force Awakens? Oh no, Force Awakens. Game. Sorry, the Lego
game. Yeah. Bear in mind, it's the Lego game, not.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, I haven't fudged any type of stuff. So it's either get 1000 G in a game or roll credits. So I'm halfway. Well, not halfway. I'm doing all right. 6 games down.
It's impressive for a month, obviously, compared to like some of your achievement hunter guys who knock out that in a day.
I mean, they've been. Yeah, I was. All of a sudden, someone has started messaging me, and he's like, "I'm catching up with you. I'm on the achievement trail." I'm like, "For God's sake, I can't be doing this again." And there I have knocked out 5 games that probably took me an hour to complete.
Thing is, right, I'll quite happily play a game from start to finish, and I'll get as much of the achievements as I possibly can. But the idea of like maybe a game that I really fall in love with, it's like Mass Effect trilogy. I wholeheartedly want to try and get full, because they do like the individual games, and then they do. So in the Legendary Edition, you've got your achievements for the individual games, and then they've got their achievements for the Legendary Edition. So
okay,
one of the achievements for the Legendary Edition is complete all 3 games on Insanity without changing the difficulty at any time.
Yeah.
So I want to get that one. That's why I'm trying to rush through them all to go and do an Insanity playthrough.
Yeah.
So I would love to be able to do a perfect like completion of the Legendary Edition.
Yeah.
But fuck me, like some of the achievements that are just. The thing is, the problem with it is some of them are restricted to certain playthroughs. So one of the ones, like an achievement, for example, is overload the shields of 25 enemies.
Yeah.
So either you have to have your character know the ability of overload, or you always have to have somebody in your squad that knows overload.
Yeah.
And then you have to remember to use it to get the achievement if you don't have it.
Yeah.
So it's not just you depending on how you play the game. You need to remember to use that ability on either your player or one of your squad mates.
Oh, see, that'd be Achievement Hunter's dream.
Yeah, so things like that's like an achievement hunter will smash that, no worries at all. But somebody who doesn't play a game for the achievements, that's it's remembering to do it to get that achievement.
Oh, totally. So I totally understand. Oh, achievements, gotta love them. Talking of which, is there any new games to Game Pass? Because
there is, and you know what would be really helpful if the person who was doing the Game Pass part remembered to do it, because he made sure everything was ready. That's why we were on at 2 minutes past 8, because we were on the ball. We knew what we were doing this month. Didn't remember to put in the Game Pass game. So if you give me,
that's why I left you a little counter there.
But it's the world's worst.
Yeah, it's not great, is it? No, it's not great.
So if you give me all of about 20 seconds, I'll have the games up in a minute.
Well, while you're fiddling with that, I will point our lovely, lovely listeners over to xboxtavern.com. If you head over to xboxtavern.com, we have got all our written reviews for games, products, and everything else in between. So currently you've got Kiwi, which Ian has written, so he's got that review finally up. We've got our Tom Clancy Rainbow Six Extraction review, which was done by Carlos, I believe.
Yep.
And then I'm not going to read the other one because I can't even read that.
Is that the other one that Carlos done?
No, this is one that Jay done. Fatuma Bellatella.
Did we mention, because Carlos had done another one, and it was one that I was wholeheartedly, I had actually was wanting to review it because it's right up my type of street based on where it is. Obviously, I done Chernobyl, like.
Yeah.
And,
Swan.
Carlos
Swan
done.
Chernobyl.
Yeah, Carlos done Swan, which I thought was going to be awesome. I was desperately looking forward to it, and then when I seen his review of it and how disappointed he was, basically, it's they do the opposite of Chernobyl. Chernobyl makes the game scary or makes you feel on edge based on the atmosphere. Swan tries to cram down your throat jump scares.
Okay.
And they overdo it. And it's very rinse and repeat. It's puzzle based, jump scare, puzzle based.
Oh.
And I was really forward because I love any sort of game that's based in Chernobyl. I think having Chernobyl in a game just elevates a game because you've got so much mystique. It's not a fantasy place. Chernobyl is a real place, but you don't know what happens in Chernobyl.
Yeah.
So it's got all the elements of being a fantasy idea that you can only imagine it, but it's a real place. And it's not even that. It's a real place that's 3 hours away from us in a flight. It's in Ukraine. And it's just weird to think that it's that close to us and we don't know nothing about it.
Yeah.
Or we know very little about it.
Yeah.
So I just feel like because it's got that real world element to it, any game that's in Chernobyl is a bit better. Like I saying, like Fallout was set in Boston in the last one, right? Or 4 was set in Boston. If you done Fallout Chernobyl, it'd be fucking awesome. It'd be real life, but it's fucking awesome.
Well, there'd be all those green people.
Exactly. But no, I was relieved that I didn't have to review it if it wasn't that good, but it did pique my interest when I had seen the Swan come out. It looked like it was going to be a really good game.
Yeah. Well, you can head over, as I said, to xboxtavern.com, read all those reviews, and you've also got our Project Game Pass up there, which tells you what games we've been playing and a few bits and bobs. So please feel free, head over and click those buttons. Ross, back to you now. What have we got?
Games for coming up in February, so 30th today, so I thought no point going over the games that are this month because they'll be pretty much done just now.
Yeah.
So we've got Dreamscaper on console February 3rd. Besiege on console on the February 10th. Edge of Eternity console February 10th, and the one that I'm looking forward to the most, Total War Warhammer 3 on PC come February the 17th. There is another one, but they don't actually have a date exactly, but they are saying it's coming to Game Pass in February. It's called Shredders, and it's the snowboarding game, not the Teenage Mutant Turtle game that I think everybody thought it was when they heard Shredders. So that is coming in February, but they don't have an exact date for it yet.
No problem. I will do the games leaving Game Pass because I have it up here. We've got The Nowhere Prophet, you've got Xenocrisis, and Cyber Shadow. Check me out, not butchering any of those words at all.
It's way in advance, but I know there is a certain audience that will love this news. I don't know how it'll play when it comes to consoles, but one of the best games that are in Game Pass for PC is coming
you're going to talk
console.
about Crusader Kings.
Crusader Kings 3.
I'm looking forward to that.
Is coming on, it's the end of March, so it's a long way away just now. But that game is fucking, it's like Civ on steroids. So you take everything that you do in Civs and raise it up to 11. So it's like everything that's in Civs. You're not just worrying about like your food. It's not like food as it is in Civ, where you have to worry about having enough food tiles.
Yeah.
It breaks it down into like everything to do with what the food is and how your yields and things like that are going. And then you've got like the different aspects of doing it, like for starting wars and diplomacy. And it's just, if you like Civilization but you feel like it's lacking, Crusader Kings is like a step forward. It's like a more adult version of Civs.
Because you've also got in that you can marry off your son,
you can marry off your son and
daughter,
daughter. Yep.
To either make alliances and like crazy. Yeah, I'm looking, when I saw this and heard it was coming to console, I did a little kind of YouTube and looking at some of the stuff, and it looks right up my alley.
Unbelievable. The game's so in depth. It's one of these games where you could spend an obscene amount of hours on it. Like you can go into like the religions that you want to have in it, the different cultures you want to go for, what your sort of dynasty is in regards to like. So you obviously you have your character that you start off as, and as you're saying, you've got your sons, your daughters, who they marry. That all affects what your life is. You'll eventually die, as in what your character is. So say Dan, your character dies, your son is then who you'll become. It's so, the game is like never ending type idea. It's just one of these games where there's so many things that you have to learn. It's a difficult game to learn. There's no two ways about that. But the depth of the game is unbelievable.
Looking forward to it when it comes out. I am going to pass over games with gold to you as well, sir. What have we got?
Is that because you don't want to say the words, Dan?
I mean, essentially, but I also think that people want to hear that rough Scottish,
gruff Scottish voice. That what it is.
Exactly. Those smooth tones.
Your games with gold are Neurovoider, which is available from January 1st to 31st. So you've got, if you're listening to us live, you'll be able to grab that if you've not already grabbed it. If you're listening to it when we drop the podcast, you'll have a wee bit of time, but you need to be quick. Aground, which is January 16th, February 15th. So you've got a wee bit of time to still pick that one up. You've got Space Invaders Infinity Gene, which is January 16th to January 31st. So again, only got a wee bit of time to grab that. And I suppose we should jump into the ones that are coming in the upcoming month.
Might as well. February is... Yeah, go on.
Yeah, I think Games with Gold has realised that it is dying a painful death and they're not even trying to hide it anymore. So you've got Broken Sword 5, The Serpent's Curse. Now, I played the Broken Sword games on iOS and they were brilliant because they work perfectly for that. It's point and click, so you just click the screen, go where you want to go, investigate, blah, blah, blah. Is that a game that I really want to pick up on Xbox? Probably not. So that's available for the full month, 1st to the 28th. Aerial Knights Never Yield, which is the middle of the month to the middle of March, so February 16th to March 15th. Hydrophobia, which I hear has some quite interesting gameplay mechanics, But after the first little bit with the sort of learning the physics based part of it, it becomes very tedious and repetitive. I'm basing that on what Jay said, which is starting the month to middle month, so 1st to the 15th. And then last but not least, Band of Bugs from February the 16th to the 28th.
Fantastic. What a fantastic amount of games for free. They feel... What on earth is...
That's celebration. Woo-hoo.
Okay, yeah. I mean, it's they're free games. Get them.
Yeah, exactly.
But I personally would like to see games with gold die and that money be pumped into Game Pass. But
yeah, definitely. I mean,
everybody is each to their own, I think, is probably the most nicest way of saying that. And that's been a show.
That has been a show, and for the fact that there's only two of us, we've managed to actually have it as a respectable length podcast.
Yeah, I mean, well, as I've told you, I like the length, I like the girth.
Exactly.
And on that note,
Dan
thanks
likes
for
some
tuning
meat
in.
to fill in.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Thanks for tuning in. For more Xbox Tavern content, please follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and TikTok at Xbox Tavern. For all our written reviews, head over to xboxtavern.com. Check out our video content over on YouTube, which is this channel. So you should be pressing subscribe. You should be hitting a thumb.
Hit a little thumb.
And comment as well. Just let me know if you want me to do this
Do
again.
more TikToks.
Well, yeah, I could do dances. No,
Or
no.
here's an even better one. Yeah, obviously you get your daily dose of Dan, which is a nice little bit of alliteration there. I like that. If there was more hosts on TikTok, out of the other 4 hosts that are on it, who would you like to see featured on TikTok? Would you like to see myself, Jay, Ian, Gray? Who would you like to see drop into the TikToks every now and then?
Oh. So, well, actually, I need to talk to you about that. Anyway.
Oh, Christ.
So for all the quick links to Xbox Tavern, they are in our show notes. Please click them. Do all that social media stuff, like, subscribe, tell a friend. I have been at ChocolateBear80. Ross has been
At Chaotic8389.
We have been Xbox Tavern, and take care. Good night.
Peace out.
See you next time.
Enjoy yourselves, folks.
Bye.
you.